Okay, you guys already know what the video is about. I'm gonna make this extremely short and sweet as I possibly can. Let's get straight into it. First off, I'm the previous #1 crypto platforms when I was on console. That was for about 400 plus days. I moved to PC and I still play with the controller. I was the #1 fuse for a short amount of time as well before I moved on. This means I got a lot of kills very fast. Okay, now you know why my settings are going to be one of the best. Let's get straight into the video. Alright, let's go to gameplay, and that's where we're going to start. I'm not going to explain everything in full detail because a lot of it's self-explanatory and I don't want to waste your time. Interact, prompt style. Compact is for the experienced players, whereas default displays more information about attachments. So if you're a new player, play with this. It will explain what certain attachments do. It will help you out. Compact shows the key information and gets rid of all the stuff you don't need, all the rest of the visuals you already know about. Button hints off. Crosshair damage feedback 100%. Play with this off. Anything else, you're at a disadvantage. Damage numbers. Stacking looks the most clean, understandable. I love stacking. These three right here, all personal preference. Weapon auto cycle on empty. This means when your mag is finished in your weapon, or sorry, if your weapon is out of ammo, it automatically switches to your other weapon. This will help you out in a gunfight. Auto sprint on. That's actually a preference. The reason I play with auto sprint on is because I don't want to keep on bashing in my left stick because it can give me stick drift on my left stick and I don't want that. Double tap sprint, turn this off. That's terrible. Jetpack control. This is for Valkyrie mains. I play it on toggle, but that's up to you. That's complete preference. Incoming damage feedback. I've tried all of these settings. And 2D and 3D is for sure the best. I can pinpoint exactly where I'm getting shot from super fast. Taking damage closes death box or crafting menu. Have this off. It will help you out. Pop up, off. Okay, now these are preference. Colorblind mode, protanopia, because my sight is yellow and I feel like I can see better with a yellow sight when I'm in storm, whereas default, which I used to play on, has a red sight and the storm is also red, so I find it a little bit hard to see, but that's completely up to you. I use protanopia or tritanopia, sometimes I use. Alright, let's go to mouse and keyboard. So mouse sensitivity 1.4. Just joking, don't know what I'm talking about here. Let's go on to controller. PC settings are going to come first in this video, and the time on the screen is where you'll find my console settings. So if you're a console player, don't watch this part, skip to the part that's on the screen right now. Okay, this is extremely important. Please cap your frames at 144 FPS, otherwise there will be this weird input lag. It feels terrible, it's bad for your game, and you're going to be underperforming because of it. If you don't know how to cap your frames, quickly YouTube it. It won't take long, I promise. Let's talk about button layout. I'm gonna break it down real fast. If you're using a normal controller, you don't have a scuff, you don't have paddles, I really recommend learning Evolved or Ninja. We're gonna start with Evolved and I'm gonna explain why. You're able to jump and crouch spam with Evolved, and your thumb stays on your thumbstick, which is amazing because you can aim and you can jump. You can crouch spam and you can jump. Whereas if you are playing on default, you're going to have to take your thumb here off your thumbstick to press circle. You're not going to be able to crouch spam and aim. It's terrible. Ninja is also solid. This just changes the buttons. You're able to jump and you're able to crouch spam. Personally, I found Ninja really hard when I was playing on normal DualShock. Evolved was the way for me. However, if you're a Pathfinder main, you might like Button Puncher. It's a really good alternative because your L1 is your tactical ability. So you're able to direct your grapples and still use your thumbstick, which is obviously extremely needed. You're not able to jump and aim, but that's okay because crouch spamming is more important. So if you're a Pathfinder main, or you really rely on directing your tactical ability, Button Puncher is also solid. The stick layout is for whatever you're used to. I play with default. I've been playing FPS games since I was like 4 or 5, and I've always been using a default stick layout. But this is up to you. Interact/reload button. Tap to use and reload is faster than tap to use, hold to reload, and hold to use, tap to reload. Tap to use and reload is faster. I recommend using this. Crouch button. I play on hold. The reason I play on hold is this paddle right here, this one, is my crouch button. And on hold, I press it, I go down. I let go, I'm up, down, up, down, up. In one button, I do a full crouch. See? Down, up, one push. So when I'm crouch spamming, see, it's mad fast. When I'm spamming it, it's fast. It's faster than toggle. The reason I use crouch to hold is because it will be faster than using toggle. But that is preference. It's completely up to you. I used to play on toggle. The reason I went to hold is for that reason. Faster crouch spam. Aim button, hold. It's going to be faster than using toggle. In fact, I don't know anybody that uses toggle. That's just weird. Survival slot button. I play with this on. What this does is pressing your arrow key to interact. So if I played with survival slot button off, I'd press this arrow right here and I'd be inspecting my weapon. But with survival slot button on, I press that to throw down a heat shield. And you know, it's not a big game changer. Play with whatever you want, but that's what I play on. Triggered dead zones, none. The reason I play with no triggered dead zones is, even though I have a scuff, I recommend using no triggered dead zones anyway, because what it does would be this. I slightly push in my R2 and it shoots. I'm just tapping it and it will shoot. And it will do the same on your DualShock or whatever controller you're using. Super responsive. Use whatever you're comfortable with, but you know, faster the better. Menu cursor speed, I have it quite high. I wish it told you what exact number I was on. This is perfect for me. I'm able to armor swap extremely fast. You know, quickly get into a box, grab an armor, get straight back into the action. Saves me a lot of the time. I recommend having a menu cursor speed around like this kind of speed. Any higher, you might miss your armor swaps. It's up to you. Movement dead zone, I play on small. Remember when we were talking about like bashing in your left stick, your movement stick? Well, if you've been doing that to run and now you have stick drift, maybe throw on large movement dead zone. But I play on small. If you have no stick drift, you can use small, easy. Inverted look, this is completely up to you. I play with off, that's what I'm used to. Vibration, I play with off. The only reason I play with off is I play for many hours in a day, and vibration after a while can get extremely annoying. I started using no vibration about a year and a half ago. These are my ALCs. Okay, my dead zone is 5%. The reason I play on 5% dead zone is because if I played on any lower, I get stick drift in my right stick, which looks like this. Okay, so I'm gaming, and then slowly my right stick's just going up to the right. It's going up. It's so annoying. You might have seen this before in your controllers. Yeah. Any lower, I get stick drift. 5% is the sweet spot for me. No stick drift. Perfect. And it's still super responsive. Love it. Outer threshold, most players play on a very slight amount of outer threshold. Like it even says here, I play on 2%. Anything more, anything less, just feels weird. Response curve is at 0. Per optic settings, I have always played on 1.0 for per optic settings. If you have been playing on, I don't know, 2.0 for the past 6 months, year, whatever, if you're comfortable with what you're using, don't change to mine. Do not change. Keep yours. This will throw you off if you change it to mine. Your speed is 500 and pitch speed is 500. My settings, I love to turn fast. That's why my dead zone is so small. That's why everything here is low. And then all of a sudden, my yaw and pitch are super high up. It's because I love turning fast. Editor will roll a clip right now. And it will like show you why I like being able to turn fast in a fight. Cool, so let's talk about ADS yaw speed and ADS pitch speed. What these do is how quickly you can turn left and right while you're aiming. And pitch speed is up and down. Something I need to say before we get into this is if your part optic setting is different from mine, yaw speed and pitch speed will not work for you. My ADS yaw and my ADS pitch will not work for you. You need to go into the range and experiment these settings for yourself. These two right here. Experiment them for yourselves. Okay, now if yours is the same as mine, a 1.0, which a large majority of people will be having default 1.0 like me, I use 192, and for pitch, I use 144. Turning extra yaw, 0, 0, everything 0. After that, I like fast, I like responsive. If I start tuning these any different, it'll feel terrible. It'll feel garbage. Fast and responsive. If you like fast and responsive, my settings are the ones for you. Okay, these are my video settings. I've changed these quite a lot in the past. I think I've been on PC for like 4 or 5 months now. So I've changed these quite a lot. These are the best settings for being able to see enemies clearly and keep at a stable FPS. Right, let's run through them. Display mode, full screen, that's a given. Aspect ratio, native. Resolution, 1920 by 1080. I don't play on stretched or anything like that. Brightness, a lot of people on Twitch ask me, Spook, what's your brightness? But like, it does not matter. My monitor is different from your monitor. So 87 looks good on mine. 87% might not look good on yours because different monitors. Field of view, 110 field of view is solid because I can see so much and I can give great comments to my teammates and I'm aware of my surroundings. A lot of controller players also like 104. That's also really good. If you don't like 110, try 104. Sprint view shake. If you're on normal, why? Don't do that. Go to minimal. That's when you're like running. If you're on normal, your head's bobbing. You don't want that. Put it to minimal. VSync disabled. NVIDIA enabled plus boost. This was added like 2 months ago, this version. Enabled plus boost is great. Adaptive resolution 0. Anti-aliasing, none. Texture streaming budget. So this one will be different to your PC. This PC that I'm using is fairly new and I don't have any games on my PC apart from Apex. So I can run insane 8GB of VRAM. If your PC can't and you know it can't, turn that down. That's okay. Don't worry about it. It's not a massive game changer. The rest of my settings are going to help you keep a stable FPS and enemies will look clear. So don't worry about it. Texture filtering, trilinear. A lot of pro players play on bilinear, but honestly looks garbage. The game looks trash. Trilinear, the game looks a lot better. So it's up to you. Remember, pro players use bilinear, but trilinear looks a little bit better and it won't affect your FPS too much. So I mean, it's up to you. Ambient collision quality disabled. Sun shadow coverage low. Sun shadow detail low. Spot shadow detail disabled. Voltameric lightning. Boys, I'm dyslexic, so yeah, my pronunciation for these is very bad. Let's not judge it. But lighting is disabled. Dynamic spot shadows disabled. Model detail. Model detail is about your skins, you know, when you're looking at your character. When you're looking at your character in the game or enemy characters, you know, I like to see the skins. We spend money on those, so you might as well put it on high. Up to you. It won't change your FPS that much, like none at all. So run medium or high, it's up to you. Effect details, low. Impact marks. I play on high, but it really doesn't do that much. Impact marks is pretty much when you shoot at a wall. If you're shooting at a wall, disabled, you won't see the bullets. The marks that are going into the wall. Low, you'll see them a little bit, and high, you'll see them from a further distance, if you get me. And ragdolls, I play on low. These settings will help you keep a stable FPS. And audio is really up to you. That's all preference stuff. I really hope I didn't waste your time and these settings help you out. I'm live every single day on Twitch. My link will be in the description below. If you could leave this video a like and comment if you did like it, then that would make my day. I read every single comment, and yeah, I'm gonna go talk about the console settings now. It was great having you guys. Peace. I left console about 4 months ago, and I missed 2 things mainly: my stats, and I miss my controller console settings, but I'll explain why after. As you can see, I was a sweat. I have over 18,000 games played. I've been pred every single season. My lifetime kills, I mean, 86k, not bad, not bad. You know, KD's looking kind of nice as well, but not that that's too important. Anyways, let's go into the settings. So I honestly believe I have one of the best settings out there for console. For stick layout, that's completely preference. I use default because that's what I've always used when I play FPS games. My interact reload button, tab to use and reload, is the best one because it's super fast. The others are like tap to hold or reload hold. You know, tap to use and reload, like shown on the screen, is the best one. It's faster. I recommend using that. Crouch button, I use hold. The reason I use hold is because it's faster to crouch spam. I have a scuff, so when I press this button here, I go down, and when I let go, I go up, down, up. In one press of a button, I do a full crouch and I get up. So when I'm spamming that shit, when I'm spamming it, my head is bobbing. Like, no shot these guys can shoot me. No shot. Like, I recommend using it on hold, but to be honest, if you can't get used to it, go back to toggle. Maybe try it out for a day, see how you feel. Go into the range and try it out. Aim button, hold. If you're using toggle, that's a little bit weird. I mean, it's going to be slower. I don't know why you'd use it. I don't know anyone that uses it, in fact. Survival slot button, I have that on. You know, that's when you're pressing your arrow key. What the fuck? My controller's stuck. There we go. So when you press your arrow key here, like, you're inspecting your kunai, or you're inspecting your weapon, right? But for me, with survival slot button on, and I press this button, this one here, like, it brings out a heat shield or a mobile respawn. That's really not a big deal. It's completely up to you. L2, R2 button dead zone. If you play on, I play on default because I have a scuff, right? I have digital triggers. So when I press it, you hear this click? It's digital triggers, so as soon as I press it, I shoot instantly, unlike a normal DualShock. If you're having a normal DualShock, play with L2, R2 button dead zone on none, and it'll be super responsive. Menu cursor speed is in the middle of default. I wish it said a percentage on where it exactly was for you guys, but sadly it doesn't. The reason it's so high up is for fast armor swaps. It will save you in a fight. Okay, movement dead zone. I play on small, but if your left stick has stick drift, you might have to change that to large. This depends on you and your controller. I recommend using small unless you have stick drift. Inverted look. I play with this off. This is another thing that's preference. If you do play on inverted, like, that's so strange to me, but you know, you do you. Vibration, it says on, but recently, as soon as I moved to PC, I started playing with vibration off, and this goes for even if I was on controller. I prefer having no vibration. It feels better in my hands. I'm more comfortable with it, but that's preference. Let's go into advanced look controls. So my dead zone is 0%. On console, I had stick drift on 0%. If I maybe upped it to 4 or 5%, I wouldn't have stick drift, but I enjoyed the stick drift. And here's the secret. The reason I enjoyed it was because I felt mad snappy. If you just quickly have a little check at that yaw speed and pitch speed, it's really high. I have stick drift, but I'm turning around fast. That doesn't make sense, right? That's probably what you're thinking. But no, on 0% dead zone, you're a fucking laser beam, bro. You are beaming. You are beaming, and it is amazing. With 0% dead zone, you are a beam machine. However, you won't be able to throw arc stars accurately, and it's gonna feel that might throw you off. That might be a game changer for you. Personally, if I had to pick being a beam machine or being able to throw arc stars super accurately, I'd always pick beam machine. So dead zone 0%, outer threshold 2%, response curve 1. Per optic settings are all 1. If yours are any different, keep that keep them your way, because if you change them to mine, it'll probably throw you off your game, honestly. My yaw speed is 500. I like being fast. I like it because, like I talked about the dead zone, I didn't mind the stick drift, and once you get used to it, I don't think you will either, because you are beaming. My pitch speed is 310, so the reason its pitch speed isn't at 500 as well is because you need to take it in account for that stick drift. It's automatically gonna make your stick go up slightly, so you don't want that to be at 500, 300, 310. That's kind of like the sweet spot. Turning extra yaw, all of these four, turning extra yaw, pitch, ramp up time, delay, all 0. You want to be snappy and fast, so let's not have those at any other numbers. ADS yaw speed, right? Remember when I was talking about the per optic settings and I said I use 1.0, right? But if you use something else, keep yours your way because it might throw you off your game, right? So if you use something different to 1.0 per optic settings, I'm sorry, but the ADS yaw speed and ADS pitch speed, if you copy mine, they won't feel the exact same because your per optic settings are different to mine. If so, you're gonna have to experiment with these for yourself. I'm sorry, but if your per optic setting is 1.0, just like mine, and yeah, just like mine, you can copy my ADS yaw speed and my ADS pitch speed. Perfect hip firing, you're still a beam with your hip firing, and you're gonna, oh my god, I can't explain this. I miss these settings so much. I had to change it when I went to PC. Oh, it was so sad because I honestly believe these settings are insane. Try it out, you're gonna love these. But everything else, like ADS turning extra yaw, 0. Pitch, extra pitch, I mean 0. ADS ramp up time, disgusting, 0. ADS turning ramp up delay, even worse, 0. And yeah, those are my ALCs. Okay, and that brings us to the end of this video. I really hope I didn't waste your time. I hope this helps you out. Actually, there's something I want to mention that I don't think I made clear. At 0% dead zone, the reason I kept saying you'll become a beam, you know, the stick drift is worth it for the beam you're gonna have. The reason I said that is because when you're at 0% dead zone, there's less recoil. That's why you become a beam. That's why I don't mind the stick drift. That's why I didn't mind not being able to throw my arc styles properly. Also, actually, another thing, you won't be able to throw arc styles properly, and anything over like 125 meters, I'd say, if you don't have a 2x on, you know, a longbow, you're going to be struggling. If you just have an iron sight longbow, anything over 120 meters, the drift is noticeable and it's going to be hard to hit targets. But just slap her 3x, you know, 2x on that, sorted. You're a beam machine, you know. Definitely use the 301 more. It's gonna be crazy. You're gonna love it. Honestly, you'll love it. Anyways, I'm out. Peace. I'm live every single day on Twitch. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment if you want to. I read all of them. It makes my day. And please leave a like if you like, dislike if you dislike. You know the drill. Alright. Peace.